everyone doing today? Welcome back to On The Ball, and it is Premier League prediction time once again. Game week 9 in the Premier League. The scores on the door, 66 to Sim, 69 to myself. The gap is getting closer and closer as each week progresses. 5 points for a completely correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result, and that star man, once you pick that man, you cannot pick them again for the rest of the season. 5 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist. You weren't here last week, but close the gap. Closing the gap.
I did. Got a 5 pointer, which I didn't want to get, but I did get with Arsenal. But 3 points.
Better
3
your
points
score
in
than
it.
my score, to be fair. 1-0 or 2-0 doesn't make too much of a difference. But
Salah, I wasted my Salah card. Although, is there going to be a good Salah card this year? I don't know.
you got to pick that 1 week where he absolutely smashes it. But Ange Postecoglou's gone.
Mm-hmm. He has. Well, we spoke about it, and we did that video about Dyche being appointed.
But the video
He's
that
gone.
we didn't do is that we had a bet.
Mm-hmm. You found it? You found it?
I didn't find it, but the bet was made. And for the people that don't know, the bet was a costume bet, right? So if Ange finished in the top half, I had to wear a costume for an episode. If Ange finished in the bottom half, you had to wear a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Ange was sacked in what space?
18th.
18th. So I duly went out and got your presents in.
He didn't finish.
He finished in 18th. That's where he finished.
He didn't finish.
Yeah, he
got
did.
sacked.
You got finished.
See,
you
he
go.
got finished. What's this? Bloody Ange. Done. My man got robbed. How do I even put this on?
Maybe go off camera and put it on.
I have no idea how to put this on. Oh,
Is there nothing else in there?
that's it. Well, what do you want? What do you want?
Give everyone a try. Let everyone see the tail as well.
What's this?
There we go.
Well, I don't know. There you go. Good day, mate. Good day. I love my Aussie.
Oh,
The man was robbed. He was robbed. I'll stand by it.
Ange Postecoglu.
I love it. I'm proud to wear this. I'll never apologise for backing my man.
Got little baby Ange in there as well.
Yeah, the next generation.
All right, there you have it. The bet has been paid out in full. But let's get into Premier League predictions. And we're going to start off Friday night football at Ellen Road. Leeds against West Ham. Sim's gone for 1-1.
I went for him to get a draw. Surely it can't carry on for West Ham playing.
Did you see
against
them?
Brentford. Oh, one of the worst things I've ever seen. That game.
That was awful.
Brentford absolutely took them to the cleaners.
That could have been 7 or 8.
Surely they can't be as bad as they were. Otherwise, they are going down, and Nuno's not even going to last the season. Albeit, if they don't win this game, it's 4 games now without a win at the start of his career.
Yeah.
Getting into Ange territory. Anyway, I've gone for 1-1. I think Leeds have slowed down a bit, not quite as good as they've been early in the season. I think West Ham should be good enough to claim a point, but I think Leeds being at home, it's going to be a difficult game for West Ham. So I went for 1-1.
Yeah, they have slowed down a bit, but I think they always keep up that kind of level of performance at home. I've gone for 3-1 to Leeds. After seeing that West Ham performance against Brentford at home, it was probably the worst display I've seen from any team this season in the Premier League. And even if they improve on that, there's still a real possibility that they lose the game. So I think Leeds going to be smelling blood this weekend. I think they're going to put a few past West Ham. Maybe West Ham get one back, but I can't see anything but a Leeds win.
Are they going down, West Ham?
They very well could do. They've got to be one of the favourites for sure.
But surely their squad's good enough to stay up, isn't it? Maybe not.
I mean,
Maybe
they've got players. I mean, they've got players, but I don't know, man. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe towards the end of the season they can make a late rally, but at this moment in time, they are the worst team in the league. They're worse than Wolves.
You know, their biggest problem is their midfield's got no physicality at all, no athleticism, that's the word. And they just get overrun every game. It doesn't matter who they put in there. They're still starting Souček in 2025 in centre mid.
I know.
Like, it's ridiculous.
And Guido Rodriguez is still coming. He got banished from the team and he's back in the fold now. So, I mean, West Ham have got a lot of problems. Fans are not even turning up to games anymore in protest. I mean, it's just a complete mess over there at West Ham. And I think there's a good feeling around Leeds, and I think it's going to show in this game.
Do you reckon there's a possibility Nuno could get sacked?
Not
Not now. I'm saying like at some point during the season.
Of course, there's a possibility. Of course, there is, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But who knows? If they're like rooted to the relegation zone come like March, of course, it's a possibility.
It's mad to think about him. He left Forest. No one, like, in terms of Nuno, Forest, Nuno and Forest, like, no one won out of that situation. Nuno got a worse club, and Forest have a worse manager in Dyche, in my opinion. No one's
Marinakis just completely balls this up, man, for everyone. Let's go to Chelsea against Sunderland. Sim's gone for 2-0. I've gone for 2-1. Been really impressed with the way Sunderland have been handling themselves in the Premier League this season. I can see them getting a goal against Chelsea. I think Chelsea's defence can be a bit open at times, but I think Chelsea going through a good moment at the moment. Still no Cole Palmer, but they seem to be getting results over the last couple of weeks. So I think Chelsea win the game 2-1.
Yeah, I went 2-0. I just think they're turned the corner a bit. You're right. Defensively, they can still be got at. So maybe Sunderland might get a goal. But I went just because they're at home. I went for a comfortable win for Chelsea, and they seem to have improved their level of performance since beating Liverpool. Confident 5-1 win in midweek. So I'm going for a 2-0.
Newcastle, Fulham. We've both gone for Newcastle win. Sim, you've gone for 2-0. I've gone for 1-0.
Yeah, I've just gone for them to get that extra goal. I think great win in midweek against Benfica. Really confidence-boosting win. They're down in 14th, Newcastle. They should not be there. Giving it a home game at St James's Park. I think Fulham are going to go there to frustrate Newcastle. But I think Newcastle, with Voltmade in the form he's in, will get the job done, and I've got them to win 2-0.
That Voltmade is class. Did you see him in the Champions League the other night? I know he didn't score, get an assist. Or he did get an assist, didn't he?
Well, he got on the back heel.
Yeah. Was heavily involved in the goal. He was just phenomenal. He really was. And I think he's getting better and better. What a signing that's turning out to be. And you're looking at all these big signings around the Premier League, all needing like this bedding in period where he's just not needed that. Hit the ground running, bang. What a player he is. Yeah, it's their away form that's really letting them down. Newcastle haven't won away from home yet this season. 3 draws, 1 loss. Fulham, their away form is also their Achilles heel a bit at the moment. They seem to be losing week in, week out whenever they go away from home. So Newcastle, always a good outfit at St James's Park. I think it'll be a tight game, though. I think Fulham and Marco Silva will come up with some sort of tactical way to try and stifle this Newcastle side, but I think Newcastle get over the line, 1-0. Manchester United against Brighton. Sim's gone for 2-2. I've gone for 2-1 to Brighton. Brighton are 3 out of 3 the last 3 times at Old Trafford. Always seem to cause Manchester United a problem. Man United, are they starting to turn the corner? Finally, Ruben Amorim's got those 2 wins in 2. However, I'm not sure if they're turning the corner or not. And I think this Brighton side are going to pick them off. I think it'll be a tighter game than maybe what it has been the last few times these teams have met. But I think Brighton will just about win 2-1.
Yeah, I went 2-2. I think there's a good feeling at United at the moment after beating Sunderland. Getting that keeper Lemens in goal has helped them. Went to obviously Anfield and got a very, very famous victory last week. I think maybe they did get a bit lucky to win that game, but still they did win. And I think that obviously will give the unbelievable feeling in the squad. At home as well, they haven't been bad at home, to be honest. Like their performance-wise, they've been quite decent. So, but I do think Brighton are the kind of team that expose you when where you leave gaps. And I do think United's still leaving a lot of gaps, and United expecting to be on the front foot, expecting to dominate and win. And I think Brighton will suit a team like Brighton as well. So I don't think United will win. I think they'll have a few lapses in concentration, but I think they will score a couple of goals. So I went 2-2.
3 wins out of their 4 home games this season, Manchester United. Only the loss coming against Arsenal opening day.
They played well.
Yeah, so interesting. Brentford against Liverpool. Have Liverpool turned the corner of the big win in the Champions League? Both of us gone for 2-1 to Liverpool. Do you think they've turned the corner?
Dropping Salah's what did it?
Oh, Salah didn't play, yeah.
I think it's only a matter of time, to be honest, until they start to click. I don't know if it's just yet. I know they got a big win in midweek. Vert's got a couple of assists, so that will really help. They've got just too much talent. It's ready and waiting for them to start clicking again. They just need to find the right balance. They've just got too much quality. Whether it'll be enough to win the league, I don't know. But look, obviously they're on a run of. They were on a run of 4 losses in a row, and that's now been put to bed with a big win. So I think they'll start to pick up points again. They'll start getting back on track. They'll put them behind them. Van Dijk said they had a big meeting after the United game just to sort things out really about what's really going on here, because the same thing kept happening over the last few games, and then they got a big win in midweek. So I think the confidence will be back, and I think they will win this game. I don't think all their problems are gone necessarily, but I think they're obviously much better than losing 4 in a row. So they're going to win this game 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because 2 injuries, first of all, big injuries in midweek with Frimpong and Alexander Isak going off injured. Brentford, I think, with the form that Liverpool are on, might fancy their chances a little bit. They had a really good performance against West Ham. They're really good in the transition with the likes of Damsgaard pulling the strings, Kevin Sade, Thiago looks good up front. But I just think the quality that Liverpool have is going to shine through in this game. But I think it's not going to go all Liverpool's way. I think Brentford are going to have their say in this game, and there will be times where Brentford are looking really dangerous. But I think Liverpool will just about get the result. So I've gone for 2-1. Arsenal against Crystal Palace. We've gone for the same scoreline in 2-0 to Arsenal. Crystal Palace obviously having a stunning season so far, but I think, I just can't see them scoring against this Arsenal side. Arsenal, never mind conceding goals, they're not conceding shots on target now, which is just crazy. So I don't think it's going to be like the prettiest on the eye, as we've seen with most Arsenal games, and I think Crystal Palace might see a bit of possession and even, get into the Arsenal half a little bit. But I think that's about as far as they're going to go. So I've gone for 2-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Arsenal, the thing with Arsenal, they can just make changes and it doesn't matter. Like, they've got such a good squad, and they can bring in, bring in Calafiori, or bring in Hincapié, or bring in whoever didn't start in midweek. And it doesn't seem to change the quality of what they got out there. So I do think they'll make some changes from the win, battering of Atletico, and it will be enough. I think their defensive setup at the moment is going to be something which Palace are going to struggle against. Obviously, Palace are going to go and set up to frustrate Arsenal, so it's going to be Arsenal breaking down, but they're just so strong either from set pieces or they're just so strong at the moment, Arsenal. I can't see them not winning.
Yeah, I think the way it's going to go is that Arsenal break the deadlock with a set piece, and then Arsenal maybe just seal it off in the last few minutes of the game. Something like that. Villa against Manchester City was an interesting matchup. Sim's gone for 2-1. I've gone for 3-1.
Yeah, Villa in good form. 5 in all competitions in a row. So they're playing really well at the moment, Aston Villa. I think they got their confidence back. They're starting to look like an Unai Emery team again. But, even against Spurs, even their games, they're playing better, but I didn't see them enough in them to convince me they're going to be good enough to beat a team like City. I'm sure their confidence is going to be up and they're going to go for it. They're going to go at City. But I think City at the moment, they're going flying under the radar a bit, but they're playing quite well. Haaland is obviously in incredible form. 12 games in a row for club and country he scored, and I don't see that stopping in this one. The only thing I would say about that is they're probably just too reliant on him at the moment. No one else seems to be chipping in. So if he ever stops or if he gets injured, that's a big problem. But I think there should be enough in this game to see them over the line against a Villa side who are getting back on track. But I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game. I'll go 2-1 City.
Yeah, I think the winning run for Villa is coming to an end here. I think Man City are playing very well at the moment. And yeah, they are reliant on Haaland for goals, but I don't think it's just Haaland that's playing well. I think you're looking at Phil Foden. I think he's getting back to really good levels. You're looking at Jeremy Doku. I think he's becoming a bit more of a killer out on the wing. Savinio's looking good. You've got players off the bench that can potentially change it with Oscar Bob, who's looking decent. They got some really good players there. Obviously, it's Manchester City, and I think they're playing at a higher level to what we've seen in probably the last 6 months. So I really like Man City, and I'm thinking at this moment in time, if anyone's going to go challenge Arsenal, it's going to be Man City. And they're performing very, very well. So I've gone for 3-1 to Man City. Haaland to get 2 of those. And next up, we go to Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, with Sean Dyche's return to the Premier League. Sim's gone for 3-1 to Bournemouth. I've gone for 2-0 to Bournemouth. And I think this is going to be a welcome back to the Premier League for Sean Dyche for Bournemouth, because I think Sean Dyche, we all know how he's going to set up. He's going to try and make it very difficult for Bournemouth, but in that stadium, with the players that they got, with the feeling around the club, with the way that they're playing, I don't think he's going to be able to stop them. And I can't see Forest getting a goal. And I think Bournemouth are going to win this. I would say they're going to have a lion's share of the possession. They're going to be knocking, and then finally break the house down, break the door down.
And I think with Forest playing in midweek as well, that's obviously going to hamper them. Are they going to come into this really fresh? I think it's going to be very difficult for Sean Dyche against a team who like to cause chaos. They press you into oblivion in good form, confident, Semenyo in great form. I think they're going to set up to frustrate, but I think Bournemouth are just finding those moments of magic, whether it be Clive versus Semenyo at the moment, and I think they'll open the game up, and then it's going to be very difficult for Forest to get back into it. So I've gone 3-1.
Wolves against Burnley. This is a massive game down the bottom, particularly for Wolves with where they're at, bottom of the league, only 2 points. They need a win in this game, and we've both gone for them to win. Sim's gone for 1-0.
Yeah, I've gone close game. Both teams prioritising, defensive structure at the moment. Burnley, obviously, the only games they won 2-0 and 1-0 at home. I think away from home, they've really struggled to pick up anything. Wolves are slowly improving, but obviously damaging defeat last time out. So, they know how big a game this is, and they need their first win of the season. I just fancy Wolves at home to get a goal. It's going to be a very tight game. Gave a few chances. Both teams knowing that they need to get something out of this game, but I think it's more important for Wolves at the moment, given their circumstance. I've gone 1-0 to Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, the fans are going to know how big it is. They're going to turn up, I think. The players know how big it is. They've got players to hurt this Burnley side. They haven't got a win, but they probably should have more points than they're on right now, Wolves. You've got to say that. Burnley, on the other hand, I don't think they've got any points on the road as of yet, have they? No, they've lost every away game so far, and I don't think this is going to be any different. I can see them getting a goal, maybe a Jadon Anthony or something like that. But, yeah, Wolves, I think they know they just can't lose or draw. They have to win, and I think they will. So I've gone for 2-1. Everton Spurs at the Hill Dickinson. We've both gone for 1-1 in this game. Not something that maybe Spurs fans want to hear. But, yeah, Everton, we know it's always hard going to whether it be Goodison or the Hill Dickinson. Everton have started really well this season. Grealish has had a week off because he couldn't place Man City last season. He's going to be chomping at the bit. They've got real big players to hurt teams now, Everton, with Ndiaye, Grealish on the wings. They've got, what's his name, in the middle as well, Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really difficult day for Spurs, to be honest. And I think we're also hard to beat on our day. We only lost 2 games this whole season. So I think both teams are going to try and basically frustrate each other and cancel each other out. So I've gone for 1-1.
I think we are going to try and win. I don't think we're going to set up to frustrate them. I just think at the moment...
we're setting up to frustrate everyone at the moment.
we are frustrating our fans, that's for sure. I think it's going to be another... I can see a bit of a stodgy performance. I think Everton, we know that they're very organised under David Moyes. They're going to try and set up to get the best out of Grealish and Ndiaye on the wings, and they're going to be difficult to handle. I think Tottenham, from their point of view, they're also a lot more organised under Frank, and I think they're going to be very combative, especially in the middle, and they're going to maybe find a moment of joy. But I don't see them going to Everton and winning. I've gone for 1-1, albeit they have been a bit better away from home. But I think Everton are playing well this season, and it's going to be very difficult to go there and win. So I've gone for 1-1.
Yeah, it'll be a big result if we can win, for sure. Star Men, Sim has gone for Voltamada. He must have loved me waxing lyrical about him then.
Yeah, he's home to Fulham, who have a bad away record. He's obviously in great form. I've just read apparently Worcester's going to be out for even longer, so I'm pretty certain he's going to start. So I've gone for him to score this weekend. Yeah,
I've gone for Strand Larsen. Hasn't got a goal this season. It's got to come this weekend. At home to Wolves, desperately need a win. Sorry, at home to Burnley, desperately need a win. And if a goal's going to come, it's going to come through him. He's been pretty disappointing so far this season, to be honest. But last year when Cunha was out injured, he picked up the mantle, started scoring loads of goals. He had a really good first year in the Premier League, and I think this is a game for him. And I think, from a set piece, header, even from open play, he can get a goal or two. So I've gone for Strand Larsen. So that is our Predict the Prem. We'll obviously do the review on, I think, Tuesday, because the last game is Monday Night Football. So we'll see you there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time.